Hi, this is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home, and I'm on the cliff right now. I'll explain why in just a second. But I want to talk about plot plans, setbacks, the buildable area. These are terms that are often not known or they're kind of ignored while building a home. So what is a plot plan? A plot plan is the design of the home where it's going to sit on the land. Now, oftentimes you'll get that in a two-dimensional or actually a one-dimensional surface, but you won't see the topography of the land. Oftentimes the architect will ask for a topographical survey or a topo of the land to know exactly where that house can be set. So we had a house, this is a new job site here that I'll be building here this summer, and I wanted to get a survey because the house was really close to what's called a buildable area. Let me explain what the buildable area is really quickly here with a little diagram. Imagine that this here square is the actual lot that you can build on. Imagine that that is your the dimensions for the entire land that you purchase. Now the buildable area is basically sometimes a dotted line with inside that square. This is where you can build inside your home site. Typically it could be a city, it could be county. What that means is they have a certain amount of setbacks. There could be 20 feet setback on the side, it could be 10 feet setback on another side. The front could be maybe 25 feet, the back could be 40 feet. It changes. It's probably the most variable thing you'll see with county and city zoning is what your setbacks are. Once you've established your setbacks, that tells you where your buildable area is. If you look over here to my right, there's a stake in the ground and it's got a blue flag on it. That is my setback. That's my buildable area. I can't build outside that stake, and you'll see blue stakes throughout the entire property here. That's my buildable area. So why am I standing on a cliff? Well, when we plotted the house, we plotted it, and I came up here and I noticed something wasn't right, so I asked the surveyor to come back up, and I go, I'm missing a stake, I can't find it. And he said, it's over here. So if you look down here, right on this rock over here, that is apparently where the corner of a walk-in closet is going to go. Well, obviously we can't put it right there, so we are actually, this is why you want to have some surveys. This is why you want to really make sure the plot plan is just really as accurate as can be. So we're going to move the house 12 feet that way, and you'll see a metal stake right up there where we've put that stake. We are actually going to move it another 3 feet to the east, so it will give us plenty of room off this cliff. I'm not too worried about the cliff. It's solid rock. Right underneath here we're solid bedrock, so this house isn't really going to go anywhere. But this is why you want to know where the house is going to sit inside the buildable area of your plot plan. And if a lot of times you'll find a plot that's pretty level, pretty easy, all you need to know is the corners of the lot, and you can strike a line from back to back, and you can kind of know, and you can figure that out. Just pull a tape measure off that string and you'll know that you're plotted out just fine. But I'm really tight on this plot. Plus, I'm in a subdivision with an HOA that requires me to stake this, and they also want to see it plotted out before we even start to get approval on the approval process for the build. So it was a good thing that we did this. So I didn't want to build off the cliff. We know how to adjust it. Now keep in mind that here's something interesting. We are moving the house to the east, so I'm encroaching upon the plot plan, or actually the buildable area, to the east. So we're going to ask for a variance. I'm actually going to encroach almost 8 feet over the dotted line to the east, and I think we'll be able to get an easement off that, because we're not encroaching upon any easements or any utility access for the city back there. It's just a little request that we're asking for, and if that works out, we're fine. If not, we've got to go back to some design on the home and maybe make some adjustments, but we should get that variance. But take your time, plot it out, make sure you're not off the cliff like here, and you can really get the house plotted out and situated. Again, this is all relevant to your plot plan. It's all relevant to the buildable area inside the plot of where you're going to build your home. These are terms that are often not known, or we just don't talk about them. And sometimes we don't want to expend the expense of a surveyor to come out and survey that. If you have a friend who's a surveyor, they may just come out and give you a corner. All you need is 2 or 3 corners, but I really needed to know how this house was going to sit, because this cliff was not on the one-dimensional county plans. So when you go to the county records, you're going to pull the plot. For that plot, it's just going to be a one-dimensional surface. It's not going to be a topographical. And so you may see the buildable area on that county plan, but it's not going to give you the 3-dimensional look, and that's why you need to get on site, or just go with Google Earth, pull down the topo, and you can kind of see. I've talked with a lot of students that just simply pulled off a topo from the Google Earth, and you'll see those strata lines. Each strata line is typically 1 foot variation, and it kind of tells you your elevation. But nothing beats getting out on the job, checking it for yourself, and getting it staked, and knowing exactly where that home's going to be. Now that we know we can move it, we're good to go. This is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home.